What if I told you that the secret to unbreakable relationships has been hiding in plain sight for over 2,000 years? Picture this. In ancient Greece and Rome, philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca pondered life's greatest challenges, not just how to endure hardships, but how to thrive in human connection. They believed that understanding others begins with understanding yourself. Now fast forward to today. In a world where miscommunication and misunderstandings are all too common, Stoicism offers a refreshing perspective, a guide to mastering empathy, improving communication, and cultivating emotional intelligence. Imagine being able to handle conflicts with grace, strengthen trust in your relationships, and build bonds that withstand the test of time. Let me tell you a quick story. Seneca once wrote a letter to his friend Lucilius about anger, describing how it can destroy even the closest relationships. His advice: practice patience, assume the best intentions, and avoid impulsive reactions. Sounds simple, right? But think about the last time you got upset at someone. What if you had paused, reflected, and responded calmly instead? How might that have changed the outcome? Whether you're navigating the delicate intricacies of a romantic partnership, managing a tense workplace dynamic, or trying to deepen your friendship with someone you care about, Stoic principles hold the keys to unlocking stronger, more resilient connections. Stick around, because today we're diving into how this ancient philosophy can revolutionize the way you relate to others, making your relationships not just strong, but truly unshakable. 1. What is Stoicism? At its core, Stoicism is an ancient Greek philosophy that emphasizes virtue, reason, and living in harmony with nature. But what does that mean for us today? Imagine you're juggling a chaotic work schedule, dealing with unexpected setbacks, and trying to maintain your relationships all at once. Stoicism offers a lifeline, a philosophy that teaches us to focus on what we can control, accept what we cannot, and align our actions with our values. It's not about suppressing emotions, but mastering them so they don't control us. To illustrate this, let's go back to the 2nd century AD. Marcus Aurelius, one of Rome's greatest emperors, faced constant challenges: wars, political betrayal, and personal grief. Despite this, his journal reveals a man committed to kindness, patience, and rational decision-making. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This mindset allowed him to navigate immense pressure while staying true to his principles, a lesson just as relevant for us today. Through the centuries, Stoicism has inspired everyone from generals to artists, and even modern CEOs like Tim Ferriss, who credit Stoicism with helping him manage stress and make better decisions. Its timeless teachings remind us to lead with integrity, even in the face of conflict, paving the way for personal growth and stronger connections with others. By integrating these lessons into our lives, we can build relationships grounded in trust, mutual respect, and shared values. 2. Stoicism and empathy. Empathy is the cornerstone of any strong relationship, and Stoicism teaches us how to cultivate it in profound ways. One powerful technique is negative visualization, where you imagine losing the things or people you hold dear, not to dwell on fear, but to deepen your gratitude. Picture this: you're frustrated with a friend who hasn't returned your call. Before reacting, you pause and think, what if I never had this friend in my life again? This simple thought can shift your perspective, replacing frustration with appreciation. But empathy in Stoicism goes beyond gratitude. It's about understanding that every person you meet is fighting battles you may never see. Epictetus taught, when someone acts poorly, don't react with anger. Instead, ask yourself, what must they be going through to act this way? Imagine being cut off in traffic or receiving a curt email from a colleague. Instead of lashing out, consider what pressures or struggles they might be facing. This mindset doesn't just diffuse tension, it transforms potential conflicts into opportunities for deeper understanding. Here's a story. During a particularly tense political debate, Marcus Aurelius was criticized by a senator in front of the entire court. Instead of retaliating, he calmly acknowledged the senator's concerns and later sought him out privately to address the issue. His restraint and willingness to listen turned an adversary into an ally. A perfect example of empathy combined with the Stoic practice of equanimity, or staying calm in adversity. In today's fast-paced world, empathy often takes a back seat to convenience. Think about the last time you had a heartfelt conversation without glancing at your phone. Stoicism challenges us to slow down, to truly listen, and to engage deeply with those around us. By valuing the experiences and emotions of others, we don't just build stronger relationships, we create a ripple effect, fostering kindness and harmony in our communities. And when empathy meets equanimity, the results can be transformative. Imagine being the calm presence in a heated argument, the one who listens without judgment, and the one who responds with care instead of defensiveness. These small acts, repeated over time, create relationships that are resilient, authentic, and deeply fulfilling. 3. Stoicism and communication. Clear and effective communication is the backbone of strong relationships, yet it's also where many connections falter. Stoicism offers timeless wisdom to help us express ourselves with clarity, kindness, and purpose. The Stoic virtues of honesty and justice remind us to approach conversations with integrity. Imagine how much simpler and more fulfilling our relationships could be if we always aimed to be truthful while ensuring our words were fair and considerate. Think of Marcus Aurelius, who often dealt with difficult advisors and political opponents. Despite his immense power, he sought to understand their perspectives before responding. He once wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." This principle reminds us to speak with humility, resisting the urge to impose our ego on others. One powerful tool the Stoics offer is the three-part filter for speech. Is what I'm about to say true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Picture this scenario. You're upset with a friend who forgot your birthday. Before calling them to vent, you pause and run your thoughts through this filter. You realize that while your feelings are valid, attacking them may not be productive. Instead, you choose to express your disappointment calmly and explain why their actions hurt you. This approach not only prevents unnecessary conflict, but also invites a deeper conversation that can strengthen your bond. Active listening is another cornerstone of Stoic communication. Too often, we listen to respond rather than to understand. The Stoics believed in the power of silence and reflection. Epictetus advised, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Imagine sitting across from a loved one who's sharing something deeply personal. By giving them your full attention, without interruptions or judgments, you show respect and build trust. Over time, this habit of attentive listening can transform the way you connect with others. Effective communication also has a ripple effect. When we model calm, respectful dialogue, we inspire others to do the same. Think of a team meeting where tempers are running high. If you approach the discussion with clarity and composure, it sets the tone for others to follow suit. This doesn't just improve individual relationships, it fosters healthier dynamics within families, teams, and even entire communities. 4. Stoicism and emotional intelligence. Relationships thrive on emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage our own emotions while empathizing with others. Stoicism, with its emphasis on self-awareness and resilience, is a masterclass in developing this essential skill. One of the simplest yet most profound Stoic practices is journaling. By reflecting daily on our thoughts, actions, and interactions, we gain insight into our emotional patterns. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations is essentially his private journal, a space where he questioned his impulses, processed his emotions, and aligned his actions with his values. Imagine ending each day by asking yourself, what did I do well? Where could I have responded better? How can I grow from today's experiences? This habit fosters a deep sense of self-awareness that's invaluable for building healthy relationships. Stoicism also teaches us to detach from fleeting emotions and focus on what truly matters. Consider a common scenario. You're running late for a dinner with your partner and they express their frustration. Instead of snapping back, a Stoic approach would be to pause and reflect, what is within my control here? You acknowledge their feelings, apologize sincerely, and focus on enjoying the rest of the evening. This shift from reacting impulsively to responding thoughtfully can transform how you handle conflicts. Another Stoic tool for emotional intelligence is understanding impermanence. The Stoics believed that all things, including difficult emotions, are temporary. Picture yourself in the middle of an argument with a close friend. Instead of being consumed by anger, you remind yourself, this feeling will pass. What matters is preserving the relationship. This perspective allows you to navigate challenges with a calm and steady heart, prioritizing long-term harmony over short-term frustration. Empathy, self-control, and the ability to navigate emotions with grace are hallmarks of emotional intelligence, and Stoicism offers a roadmap to develop them. For example, Seneca wrote extensively about dealing with anger, calling it a temporary madness. He advised cooling down before responding, much like counting to 10, a simple yet effective practice we can all adopt. When we integrate emotional intelligence into our relationships, we become better partners, friends, and colleagues. Imagine being the person others turn to in moments of crisis because they know you'll respond with patience and understanding. This kind of emotional resilience doesn't just improve our connections, it inspires others to cultivate their own. Over time, it creates a ripple effect, fostering stronger relationships and more compassionate communities. 5. Applying Stoicism in relationships. So, how can you begin weaving Stoicism into the fabric of your relationships? The beauty of Stoic practice is its simplicity. It's about small, deliberate actions that have a profound impact over time. Let's start with gratitude. Take a moment each day to thank your loved ones, not just for the big gestures, but for the everyday moments. Imagine telling a partner, "I really appreciate how you listened to me earlier." Or telling a friend, "Thank you for always making me laugh." These expressions of gratitude strengthen emotional bonds and remind us not to take people for granted. Here's a story. A couple once practiced a nightly ritual inspired by Stoicism. Each evening before bed, they shared one thing they were grateful for about each other. This habit, though simple, transformed their relationship, helping them focus on the positives even during tough times. Gratitude, practiced regularly, is like planting seeds that grow into stronger, healthier connections. Another way to apply Stoicism is through active listening. Think about the last conversation you had. Were you fully present, or were you formulating your response while the other person was still speaking? Active listening, a cornerstone of Stoic communication, means setting aside your ego and giving the speaker your undivided attention. It's about listening not just to reply, but to understand. Imagine the impact of making someone feel truly heard, the trust it builds, the conflicts it prevents. When conflicts arise, the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control becomes your anchor. Picture a heated argument with a sibling. Instead of trying to control their behavior or emotions, you take a step back and focus on your own reaction. You remain calm, choose your words carefully, and avoid escalating the situation. This doesn't mean being passive, it means responding with intention rather than reacting impulsively. Over time, this approach fosters respect and paves the way for healthier resolutions. Setting boundaries is another powerful application of Stoicism. The philosophy teaches us to respect others' autonomy and recognize that we cannot control their actions. Seneca wrote, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire." In relationships, this translates to accepting people as they are, not as we wish them to be. Imagine a friend who frequently cancels plans last minute. Instead of holding on to frustration, a Stoic approach would be to set clear boundaries about your time while understanding their choices without resentment. This balance of self-respect and empathy can prevent unnecessary tension. Lastly, practice detachment, not in a cold or indifferent way, but in the sense of understanding that every relationship, no matter how precious, is subject to change. This doesn't mean loving less. It means loving fully while embracing life's impermanence. By doing so, we cherish the present moment and build connections that are both deep and resilient. Over time, these practices, gratitude, active listening, self-control, boundary setting, and detachment, become second nature. They transform not just your relationships, but your overall approach to life. Imagine a world where your interactions are defined by mutual respect, understanding, and unwavering support. That's the power of applying Stoicism in your relationships. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of life that can transform how we relate to one another. From fostering empathy to improving communication and cultivating emotional intelligence, Stoic practices offer a roadmap to build relationships that stand the test of time. But remember, it's a journey, one deliberate step at a time. Start with gratitude, practice active listening, and embrace the Stoic wisdom of focusing on what you can control. These small, consistent actions will create a ripple effect, deepening your connections and inspiring others to follow your example. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use a little Stoic wisdom in their life. Let's spread the philosophy that has guided minds for over 2,000 years. Until next time, remember, the power to build unbreakable relationships lies within you. All it takes is a willingness to start and the courage to grow.